Shaking my head as we're getting into this, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Neo Humanity in the grand finals of ESL Open Cup Americas number 179. We are here with the South Korean Zerg player representing CranKy Gaming. It is Dark. And if anyone understands any Hangul, let us know in the chat what the hell is being said. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran representing Shopify Rebellion, last night's ESL Open Cup Asia champion. It is ByuN. Going for the 2 racks, because of course he does. Let's go, Papi, let's go. So more often than not, if you haven't been watching ByuN recently, ByuN does go for 2 racks openers in TvZ specifically. Not every game, but I would say maybe 90%, maybe 90% of the time, ByuN does go for these 2 racks openers. Every now and then, every blue moon, he mixes in something different, and that's why I mentioned last night, like, game 1 was so wild between Dark and ByuN, because ByuN didn't open up in game 1 with a 2 racks. He opened up with a 1 racks into a CC into a third base. Like, it was just so greedy. it was crazy. It was actually crazy what ByuN was doing last night. He was really playing with the meta. He was playing with his own reputation specifically. So yeah, it's really cool to see ByuN mixing things up every now and then, but here we're going, back to what we know, and he is going to be opening up with the 2 racks. I expect to see a 4 racks follow-up here, just because I do think this is a really good map for it, but we'll see. I like your pants. Those aren't memes. The pants are a lie. Shaking my head. As Dark is going for a hatch gas pool opener, nothing too crazy. I love this as well. Dark does prioritize link speed, so this is an adaptation specifically for ByuN, as with faster link speed you can deal with these Reapers much better, as well as ByuN is opening up with 3. Again, this 2 racks opener is for 3 Reapers, and then we transition into our add-ons. Do have a CC on the low ground. There's the 3rd racks, and we should be seeing a 4th racks after this. So again, ByuN was able to win. He was able to win 2 games against Dark last night doing this exact build: 2 racks into 4 racks. This hits like a truck. This hits very hard, and you do have to respect this quite a lot as a Zerg player. As the Reapers are being fended off for the time being, Dark is being contained to 2 bases. That's the other added advantage of this 3 racks opener, is that you do deny and you do delay the 3rd base for a long time of the Zerg. But link speed's about to kick in, and ByuN should get the hell out of here. If he doesn't, he will lose these Reapers, and that will weaken the 4 racks push. There we go. Link speed is revealed. ByuN is getting the hell out of here, but alas, Lings are faster than Reapers, so ByuN has to be careful. He does throw down a couple of these KD8 mines, a couple of these grenades, and is going to safely get back here to his natural. This is the power of Neo Humanity. Because it's so small, it doesn't take too long to race back home. Meanwhile, Dark is in the dark. He hasn't seen the main base, so he doesn't know exactly what the follow-up is, because ByuN does mix it up. He can go into a 2-1-1 from here. It doesn't have to be a 4 racks all-in, or it doesn't have to be a 4 racks follow-up. But Dark can definitely make an assumption. It's risky, but he can make one. As back at home, Dark is droning. He's got a fast Bailey Nest on the way, but again, Bailey Nest can be very useful defensively here against a 4 racks. Meanwhile, Stim is on the way. Stim is seconds away from completing, and ByuN is already pushing through the center of the map. The tower has been broken, but the rocks are coming up next. Dark is being a little bit greedy. He drones up to 50. I do think that, like, 45 is the safe drone count to stop at, but Dark is droning up a little bit more. We have 50 drones already done. Queens are being brought to the front lines. Lings are being produced as well. This is going to be a tight defense for Dark. We have seen ByuN straight up win with this push. It's not all in. He's transitioning behind this. We have a 3rd base on the way and a factory. Banelings are being morphed in. Oh, that means there are no Lings ready for this, and that means ByuN can stim forward and focus down Queens. One Queen does go down. The Banelings have arrived. They're being focused down one after the other. There are not enough Lings. There straight up are not enough Lings, and this may just be game. Every Baneling goes down. The Queens as well, and that's it. Dark, I'm sure is not happy with that. GG gets called, and ByuN takes game number 1. You require Lings here for this kind of defense, and Dark was a little bit too greedy. I do think he droned up a little bit too much, and he just didn't have enough here to defend. Fun fact, if you're maybe facing this build on the ladder and you're struggling a little bit, ByuN versus Ragnarok last week. ByuN versus Ragnarok, you don't when I say those two names, ByuN is the favorite. Ragnarok just wiped the floor with ByuN. It was crazy. It was crazy. It was in Kung Fu Cup last week. Ragnarok, he was a little more aggressive, to be fair. Ragnarok, he cut workers at 40, actually, far less than 50, which is what Dark went up to. Ragnarok, he cut workers at 40, 41. Mass Ling, Banelings as well, and he sets up a surround. He comes in from behind with the Lings, Banelings from the front as well, so there's no like micro available for ByuN. And to be fair, again, Ragnarok is a more aggressive player, but Ragnarok, he has a handle on this. Dark, this is 3 games in a row now where he has fallen into this build. Let's go. Hopefully we don't have a repeat of last night. This morning, in the bottom left-hand corner of Ancient Cistern, we have the South Korean Zerg player representing CranKy Gaming. Down 0-1 in this series, it is Dark. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran representing Shopify Rebellion, leading the series 1-0. It is ByuN. Dark listened to Asher. What did Asher say? I don't think Asher saw what Ragnarok's response. But yeah, typically I do think you need to cut workers earlier. But yeah, at the same time, Dark didn't quite, he wasn't able to scout the specific build either, to be fair. So maybe he wasn't fully aware what was happening. And yeah, now we're getting into game number 2. Dark didn't listen to Asher. What did Asher say? Shaking my head. As from here, we're going to be getting into a standard opener. Wow, this is not something that I've seen too often. ByuN is going to be going for a regular Rax expand, not a 2 Rax. So again, this is what I appreciate out of ByuN. Recently, he has been mixing things up. He has been changing up his opener. Oh, no, never mind. He has been changing up his opener, which is really cool to see. But ByuN is still going for a 2 Rax, just in a different way here. It's going to be a little bit harder to scout, so I wonder how this will turn out. Oh my god, he's going for a reactor first. He's crazy. Let's go. Let's go, Bobby. As behind this, Dark, he's going for the same response. He is going for, or he's cutting gas here at 100, going for Link speed, and then, or rushing into Link speed, and then going to be a little bit more defensive back at home with an extra pair of Links. Meanwhile, ByuN, oh my god, this is illegal, Bobby. He has 0 units. ByuN has 0 units right now. He skipped his SCV scout, he skipped his Reaper scout, he skipped his first Marine, he goes reactor into Tech Lab with nothing else. ByuN is getting away with murder here, and yeah, he's getting into a 2-1-1. Let's go. And yeah, from here we'll see what we get. This is just such greed from ByuN. From here, he's going to hit a very crisp 2-1-1 timing once he has his starport out, once he has his medevacs out as well. Meanwhile, Dark is now aware of what's going on. He does go across the map, and with Link Speed, he's going to be able to threaten the mineral line at least. He has to be careful not to overcommit because there are a lot of Marines in position. One SCV will go down. He's going to be able to transition out of this. Meanwhile, Asher said 46 drones, Link Queen. Yeah, that's the thing. Dark has done that defense before, and it has worked as well. So yeah, really odd to see Dark struggling this week because he was looking so much more powerful last week as well. Oof. But yeah, here we go. I'm so concerned for Dark right now. Okay, so he's gonna have 7 queens. He's gonna have 7 queens to his name. He's throwing down a Roach Warren as well, which should keep him safe. The Roach Warren should finish up in time for the double drop. It's gonna be tight though. Definitely will be, as Dark is gonna be saturating his 3rd base, working up towards his lair as well. Queens are being brought forward. And there we go, Lings are on the way, thankfully. Dark isn't going to be over-droning, so he should have the tools he needs to defend, as ByuN is going to be moving out with his 2-1-1. I see Babyling saying in the chat, yes, typically you do, specifically against, I say it's 4x, specifically against 2-rax openers, to be fair, you do stay on 2 bases far longer. Here we go, we have the double jump head towards the 3rd base. Queen's going to be attempting to rotate over to keep up with it. And there should be plenty on the ground here. Yep, Ling's into the main, Queen's here at the 3rd base, Roach is moving out as well. And this double drop shouldn't be getting too much damage. I guess the added advantage is that Dark is forced to spend quite a lot more resources here into his Roaches, but he can be aggressive behind this. There we go, Roach speed is on the way. No Evo chambers, no other upgrades. We'll see if Dark does take a 4th and drone from here, and it looks like he should. Looks like he will. So, we're getting into a more standard game. the game will not end off of the opener. Let's go, Parker. Let's go. Remember ByuN's puppy? Sorry, his puppy. Yeah, ByuN, I think he's had a couple of puppies. He had his initial puppy back in the Wings of Liberty days, and I know he got a new dog recently as well. You'll love to see it. So cute. So cute, man. It's Biapi. But for the time being, this double drop is just going to be threading the bases here of Dark. Behind this, we have our 3rd CC on the way. We actually did prioritize additional Raxes before the 3rd CC though, so this is going to be hyper aggressive coming out from ByuN. He did commence tank production early on as well, so this is going to hit quite hard. Meanwhile, Dark is doing Dark things, as he typically does. We have an Infestation Mid on the way. This should be for 2 Infestors. Cyril does this as well, to be fair. When you do go Roach Ravager, it's typically safe to go into these Infestors just because your Banelings are so delayed. You don't really have a lot of splash damage to work with. Oh. Here we go. ByuN is going to be moving out. And thankfully, Dark does spot this ahead of time with a Scatterling. Does he have enough units though? Because again, we are pushing out with these 3 tanks. +1 attack is already done. No Banelings are in position. Lings are coming from behind though, and 1 tank is going to be going down. The surround is going to be cleaning up every single one of these tanks, and ByuN is forced to push on forward to focus on whatever he can, but he just loses far too much. Ooh, a full medevac goes down as well. The power of Roaches, like this kind of style from Dark, it does mean that you do lack map control, but at the same time, typically here against a player like ByuN, you don't really have map control anyway. You're more of you take the defensive role instead. You're absorbing all of these pushes and you're getting ahead that way. As we now have a 5th hatchery on the way as well. Hive on the horizon, Infestors for those Fungals. And from here, these pushes are going to get easier and easier to clean up, especially now that the tank count has been reset. It's now only bio pushes or Marines. And now, hey, now we have Infestors. Now we have Fungals. I may have spoken too soon, as the Infestors are still gathering energy, but yeah, they're going to be able to clean up these Lings. We have another, these Marines, we have another drop here on the right-hand side. Infestor does come out. We do still need a little bit more time for that energy. Oh my god. He's crazy. As he picks up and he does threaten a drop into the main base. Dark's just getting in position. And ByuN's in a really rough place now. It wasn't just a 2-1-1 opener, which is usually you have to, you know, trade and get some damage done. It was also a delayed third base as well. So ByuN is trying to be as active as he can with these drops, but if he doesn't get any value here, then Dark is going to max out and he's going to snowball out of control. There we go. We have the double drop here towards the top left. And the drop, again, this shouldn't really be doing too much damage. Unfortunately, there's no other multi-prong harassment coming up from ByuN either. I mean, I guess he has the one drop in the main, I guess, but again, Dark is fully aware of that. Has plenty of units in position. Here we go, ByuN is pushing through the center of the map. The goal here is to create an opening here for his harassing drops. He's trying to pull apart the attention of Dark, as we have that Ultra Cavern on the way. ByuN is getting a fourth base behind this as we speak. He's not 8-raxing or anything like that. Oh, and as ByuN moves out, Dark moves in. Oh god, we're gonna be just cleaning up this mineral line. 12 SCVs go down and the center tower. Only 4 Lings. More importantly, this pulls ByuN's army back home. Ay. And this just gives Dark so much breathing room to actually get into his higher tech. Ultra Cavern is done. Chitinous plating is on the way. Double drop being forced away as well. And for the most part, Dark has map control. I say for the most part, he is lacking creep. He hasn't been re-spreading his creep here in the center of the map. So because of that, he may have a hard time engaging as he pushes on forward. Yo, the tanks, they do on siege! Ay. The perfect moment for Dark to engage. The entire army crumbles. GG gets called, and Dark takes game number 2, tying things up 1-1. GG. Again, ByuN, his build this game specifically is designed to do damage, and if it doesn't, then you do set yourself behind, unfortunately. Just because of how delayed your third base is, it can be really difficult to keep up with the macro of your opposing player. You have to do some kind of damage, either trade really well with your army against army, or get economic damage done. Alas, ByuN did neither. Especially as Dark is so prone to open up with roaches like that. And Roach Ravager, again, is it's such a safe way to play ZVT. There are pros and cons to it, obviously. It's not the most efficient army, but it's quite tanky as well. It's relatively larva efficient in a way, especially if you don't have a lot of larva to work with. If you don't have a macro hatch, for example, if you don't have a fourth base, it's a way to spend your resources well. And yeah, Dark was able to just absorb the first couple of pushes and get ahead from there. And now we have a series. Now we have a back and forth. Going to be getting into game number 3. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Babylon, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player representing CranKy Gaming. It is Dark. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. Oh. Going for a proxy 2-rax, we have ByuN. Mixing things up quite a bit here. Sending his first 2 SCVs across the map for those Raxes, and yeah, here we go. Yeah, I was checking to see if he was going to be sending a 3rd SCV, but no, he does not. Keeps that 3rd SCV back at home, so this isn't going to be the most committed proxy here from ByuN. Proxy 2-Rax, obviously it's aggressive, it can do a lot of damage, but you can transition a lot more seamlessly out of this into a factory, into a second base, into a longer game. There isn't as much pressure on the Terran to do damage. Now, what's impressive about this is that ByuN is doing things a little bit differently. First gas is being taken here already. I wonder. No, this should still be for Marines, right? Yeah, and the Overlord is going to rotate back around and is going to spot this. So Dark is fully aware of what's going on. He's going to be aware of at least the initial 2 Raxes. He does see actually 1 Rax, but of course he should be aware of at least 2. ByuN! He drilled the bird to death. Oh my god. As Dark is going for a hatch gas pool. The first bunker is on the way. Now, I'm curious to see how Dark responds to this, as he isn't fully aware if this is a proxy 2-Rax or a proxy 3-Rax. We have Lings on the way, we have Queens as well. And yeah, Dark is going to be taking a second gas geyser. He looks like... Oh no, he will cancel it actually. It looks like he has confirmed the lack of 3rd Rax. You'd love to see it. Also, I think it was just a little bit supply block. He's going for an extractor trick. And again, with only 2 Raxes, Dark is going to be looking to break out of this once his Queens pop out, once he has enough Lings. He should be able to break on free. Marines do push forward. They do threaten the Queen for a moment. Oh, the hatchery is going to be going down, which is less than ideal. Back at home, ByuN does have that factory on the way. The Raxes are lifted and they're floating back home. So ByuN is transitioning out. And ByuN has already done a lot of damage, to be fair. Like, for a proxy 2-Rax to get a kill in the hatchery is pretty damn good. Dark is going to be reacting with a Ling all-in. He has no drones. Just pure Ling, waiting for Ling speed to finish up. I'm really curious to see how this dynamic plays out. And whether or not ByuN is going to have anything back at home to defend us. Here we go, the Lings do rock up. They get a full surround on the bunker. The bunker will fall. And so will everything inside. Back at home, ByuN is going to have... Okay, he did actually rally reinforcements back at home. So he actually already has 3 Marines. So he should be safe and sound. These Lings shouldn't get too much damage done. I was concerned that there wasn't going to be a Hellion. But there is going to be at least a Cyclone. Again, these 3 Marines do add a lot to this. As Dark double expands and is commencing to drone. I love the discipline that Dark has as well. Like, he's not really threatening this this wall. He's just going to be looking to contain his opponent. ByuN going for a 1-1-1 before that 3rd CC. 3rd CC is about to finish up. I say 3rd CC, natural base, sorry. And I appreciate this a lot from ByuN as well. He's going to be going for a double Cyclone drop from here. Picking up whatever Overlords he can, maybe even threatening this 3rd base. We're going to be advancing on from here. Now, Dark actually doesn't have that many exposed Overlords. Thankfully, his Overlords for the most part are back at home. Oh, he's going for an Evo Chamber first. Interesting. We're going to go for a fast pulse on melee. We shall see as the Cyclones get into the main base and oh, did I say there weren't a lot of exposed Overlords? I mean, he finds a couple, but they both will survive. Same time, Lings go for a round. Let's go for a counterattack here across the map, but there are plenty of Marines to defend. The Lings get some economic damage done, and oh, the target firing as well. 7 SCVs, not bad. I feel like this was pretty necessary damage overall. Cyclone's getting a couple of hits in, but the Queens do push away that medevac. Dark minimizing his losses. These Cyclones, they have a lot of potential, but they weren't able to get anything. They didn't get an Overlord, they didn't get a Queen. Really solid stuff here out of Dark, and it's going to be +1 carapace. So this can lead into a fast +2 carapace timing, if we do get there. But really interesting, Dark is going to be relying on just... Oh, I can't believe that Overlord survived. 3 HP! 3 HP. Aye, aye, aye. I can't believe that Overlord did survive. The Queen, the flanking Queens, they want the medevac. They want it, Papi. Ah! But with this, Dark is going to be relying on pure Ling to defend. Finally, the Cyclones are able to force a cancel on that 4th base. And Dark, especially after that Ling counterattack, is able to do a lot of damage and find himself back into this game. Economically, he's not looking too bad. His 4th is on the horizon. He doesn't have a lair, which is interesting to me. Still just making nothing but Lings. +1 carapace is about to kick in, and yeah, I think Dark does intend to go for a massive Ling flood here after the natural. It does have another base on the way, to be fair. Cyclones are looking for some damage. And now ByuN is going to be threatening that 3rd base. But there are so many Lings. I'm sure the +1 carapace has been confirmed, and Dark is going to clean this up. This is very Miyamaka-esque. Kind of love it. Not the most efficient trade, but yeah, he kills the tank in the end. There we go. Now we're going to be droning. Now we have the lair on the way. Now we're bailing this as well. Dark is going to be getting into this. I was really concerned with how late this lair was. So because we have a late lair, we're going to have late bailing speed as well. And late +2 upgrades. I guess because of the opener, it's not really that late. Like, I mean, ByuN is still on 2 bases anyway. His 3rd base, quite delayed. I guess this game, like the game state as well, is just so awkward because of the proxy that so many timings are off. But now that Dark cleared up the 1st push, like he feels safe enough to tech. We've got the 4th base on the way. We are saturating it as we speak. We have a 5th as well. And ByuN is now working on his push. We have Stim, we have combat shields. We also have 3 tanks. Once again, ByuN trying to take advantage of this position. And he's going to be able to, especially with slow Banes. He should be able to focus them down before they find any major connections. Oh! Yeah, tank shots do go off on some of those Banelings, but we do see Dark overwhelming and overrunning this position. For the most part, but it looks like those 2 tanks in the backline do stand strong, and ByuN is able to push forward. This is what I was concerned about. Without Baneling speed, it can be really difficult to deal with these tank pushes, and it looks like Dark was spread a little bit too thin. Yeah, he's being pulled apart here. A drop towards the north, a drop towards the south as well. Dark will be losing this hatchery. Is ByuN aware of top right? He isn't. If he was, I'm sure he'd be taking advantage of it, but he doesn't know. Uh-oh. Ooh, as ByuN is being forced in that direction, it looks like he will come across that hatchery. Otherwise, potentially ByuN could have done so much more. He could have dealt with this mineral line as well. Dark isn't in the worst position. He lost the hatchery, sure, and he lost a lot of Ling Bane, but he was able to keep his 5th, now 4th base alive and preserve his worker count. And this could have been a lot worse. And now we have 2-2 on the horizon. Still no Baneling speed, which is a little bit concerning, especially because our next push is on the way. ByuN comes back in with that drop. It's another cancel on that triangular 3rd. The army of Dark is going to be responding to this as we do drop into the main base. At the same time, we have that main push here on the right-hand side. The Banelings waddle in. Maybe I should have faith. But the Banelings are being focused down one after the other. The drones are being chased down as well, and ByuN is taking control of this game. Fourth base is going to fall. Now Dark has to go for a massive counterattack. Like 2-2 is going to kick in a couple of seconds. Like Dark is on top of his melee upgrades or his Ling upgrades. I'm just not convinced by the lack of bailing speed. But we'll see. As the tanks are being cleaned up, ByuN is being forced back. Dark desperately trying to get a fourth base up and running. Like Dark has the resources for it. I guess unfortunately it is maybe slipping his mind. He's going for Bailey. He's going for Burrow. Okay, let's go. I love it. I feel like Burrow is a good way to make up for a lack of bailing speed. Like it looks like Dark did in fact forget it, and now he does start both upgrades at the same time. Burrow will finish first. Oh. As the tank in the middle of the map does go down, but the drops here of ByuN, they just don't stop. He pushes forward towards that third base once again. There is enough here to deflect this. And ByuN just isn't stopping. He is looking to choke Dark out. And the Queens don't have enough energy for Transfuse. 2 Queens go down. We have 3 armies moving out across the map. Ay, ay, ay. Oh! Solid Bailing run by. Bailing waddle by even. Let's go. Oh, and the Bailing will connect with the Marines as well. Dark doing so much with so little. It's impressive how well Dark has been able to keep up despite lacking a pretty crucial upgrade. And now Bailing speed does kick in. And now he's going to have an easier time keeping up with the army, but unfortunately Dark is down to 3 bases. He doesn't have a lot of production. There's no macro hatch either. He doesn't have the best economy. I do think he's just been bleeding out a little bit too much this game. As ByuN is just, yeah, it's getting out of control, Papi. Oh my god, the efficiency here, almost every Bailing goes down to the tank fire. GG gets called, and ByuN will take game number 3, taking a lead in this series. Oh, GG. Yeah, I wonder if Dark was just okay, a couple things were happening there. So ByuN did go for a delayed third base, and I think maybe because it was so delayed, maybe Dark didn't think he could get away with a faster lair. He was so much more concerned with the 2-base all-in coming at him. So it was just staying on hatch tech a little bit longer. Once the third base was taken, that is I think that's kind of when, you know, we saw our lair on the way, our second Evo chamber as well, our Bailing nest. But I do think that because this game was so awkward, I do think that Bailing speed did kind of slip Dark's mind, and without Bailing speed, we saw him really struggle to deal with the multi-prong aggression of ByuN. Like ByuN had so much time in that game to just do whatever he wanted. He was dropping left and right in the main, at the third, at the fourth, at the fifth, and Dark was struggling to keep up. Was struggling to keep up with all the drop play, with his efficiency. I don't think we saw a good Bailing connection almost at all this game, just because they were really struggling to close the distance. And yeah, I don't know. It's like slow Banes against ByuN. Like that's what ByuN lives for. Like he likes it, Papi. He likes it. He has just such good control and good micro. It's so difficult to pull that off against him. As as we're getting into our next game, and I wonder if they noticed. I'm pretty sure we already played on this map. Am I crazy? Didn't we see? Yeah, we saw ByuN go for a Rax expand with a reactor first on Ancient. This was the map that Dark went roaches on.
Game.
Yeah. I was about to say, I've already played this map. Okay, I'm glad they noticed. I was like, I didn't want to speak up because no one else was. I was like, are we doing this? Okay. Aye. Let's go. All good. Check. Oh. Rip the perfect streak. True. As we're going to be getting into our next game, and yeah, we'll see how this does unfold, as we're not on Ancient Cistern. We're going to be loading into Gressvan. And spawning. In the top left-hand corner of Gressvan, we have our South Korean Zerg player representing Dragon, TvZ Gaming. Oh, down in this series, but not out. It is Dark. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Terran player up 2-1 in this best of 5 grand finals, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. But yeah, last game was a really awkward one. You know, if you remember, it all started with a proxy 2-rack, so of course things got really chaotic really quickly. ByuN was able to get a bit of a lead in the early game overall, just causing a lot of havoc. Dark, it felt like he over-invested into Lings. If you remember, it took him a long time to really saturate his third base. Like, he was, yeah, just hyper-focused on Ling production for a while, and it kept him safe, to be fair. It did keep him alive in a way, but it also meant that he was always struggling economically as well. Like, there were, yeah, a lot of really weird aspects of that game, and I don't think we should really take too much from it. I do think that just because of the openers, that game just got really weird. And yeah, we're going to be getting into game number 4 here with a fresh mind, with a fresh palette, as ByuN does what he does best. That is a 2-racks opener. Let's go. Let us go, buddy. Oh, never mind. Okay. Oh, God. Let's go. So, this is the power of the 2-racks, is that you can do a lot from here. From a 2-racks opener, you can go into the 4-racks, which we saw ByuN use to great effect on Neo Humanity, if you remember. You can also go into a 2-1-1 follow-up, which is a little bit more economic, a little bit more standard. Or you can do this, which is you commit into 3-racks. And this is Mass Reaper. You can still transition out of this, but this is designed to not just keep your opponent on 2 bases, but also hunt down some queens. And if you get 1 or 2 queens, you will snowball, and ByuN has the Reaper control to win the game then and there if Dark does end up losing a little bit too much. So this is dangerous. It's definitely a dangerous moment here for Dark. Reaper shows up, is going to be looking to threaten the initial mineral line here on the natural. We do have the Reapers being split up as well. A lot of Lings are being produced, but ByuN has to be very careful. He has to make sure he snowballs. He cannot lose a Reaper, especially this early on. Meanwhile, Dark, just like he has been responding recently, he has prioritized his Ling speed. He's going to be staying on 2 bases, as he typically does respond here against the 2-racks. 3 Reapers have been revealed, but we have more Reapers on the way. Again, it is a Mass Reaper here from ByuN. Lings are going down left and right. Every single Ling has fallen, and it looks like, oh my God, 1 Reaper will not go down. A Queen falls, and that just, that may be it. But another Queen comes out just in time. ByuN being so delicate with his micro here, keeping his weakened Reapers alive. No! As he almost loses another, but does back off in time. Lings are amassing here in the main. ByuN has to respect that. It looks like he has to transition. If he had killed the second queen, then he could have done even more damage, but he only killed one. So back at home, we do have add-ons on the way. And the natural base is getting up and running. At this point, ByuN just has to be very careful with his control. He cannot get surrounded. KDA charges are being thrown down as we speak. I love it. ByuN is using the terrain. He does go up the ramp, does avoid the surround. Maybe again, ByuN has to keep these Lings busy for Dark because Dark is still amassing Lings. He's still making nothing but Lings. He's going to be getting his third base behind this, and he's going to be going across the map. Oh no, actually, he's still looking to hunt down these Reapers. That's the thing, right? Like, if he ever moves out with his Lings, then the Reapers can kill the Queens. The Queens are now consolidating here at the third base. ByuN just getting the hell out of there. And I believe this Overlord is in position to spot this, so these Reapers are going to get surrounded. Yeah, good read here from Dark. Accurately predicting the movement here of these Reapers, and every single one is going to go down. We have ByuN trying to trade as best he can, but every single Reaper does fall. Behind this, though, we have already been transitioning. Now, this follow-up 3 racks push would have been stronger if we had those Reapers alive, but now we only have Marines, and I appreciate that ByuN is kind of hiding his Marine count overall. As he's working on Stim, working on his factory, soon to be Medivacs. Meanwhile, behind this, Dark is going for roaches. So this is reminding me, this is giving me some Ancient Cistern vibes. Again, like, roaches are Dark's happy place. They are his safety blanket, if you will. And they will keep him safe and sound if he gets enough of them. Meanwhile, ByuN is doing ByuN things. He's moving out before the Medivacs are even done. Stim is completed here for ByuN. He does avoid the Lings. He goes for the scans, sees the Queens, and that means that Dark is gonna come in from behind. ByuN still not using a Stim. He's being as careful as he can with his control. We'll lose a couple of Marines. We'll back off. Just a bit of a run by. Nothing too crazy. Just doing his cardio. Oh. And from here, ByuN is looking to reinforce now with Medivac, so now he can stim a little bit more freely. Doesn't have to be as conservative with it. And we'll see what he can get done here. He's taking his third base behind this. Thankfully, a much faster third compared to Ancient Cistern, so he's not as all in. See a double drop going to be threatening that main base. The Marines are trying to keep the attention of Dark here at the third. So there we go. We do drop into the main. We have Queens. We have Roaches as well. One Roach is going to be going down. Noble Lord, a second Roach as well. We're not going to be able to get too much else. He wants a Queen. He's going to... oh, not be able to get one. But at the same time, this is getting out of control. The main army moves forward. 8 drones go down. And the hatchery? Uh-oh. This should not have happened. The hatchery falls. We have more than enough Roaches to defend both the main and the natural, but Dark was just a little bit too preoccupied, was distracted by the double drop. And as a result, he loses half a mineral line and a hatchery. He has to go for this counterattack. He has to try to catch this army, but there are tanks waiting for him. Oh. Yeah, and ByuN, he knows that he can chase this down. Has to be careful, though, as we do have a concave being set up, and we got a lot of Roaches. 12 Roaches did go down. Meanwhile, there's still one drop across the map as well. Oh, what the... Yeah, has to be careful with it, though. Does run into the army. Oh. As behind this Dark is just turtling up. Again, very ancient Cistern-like. We have an infestation bit on the way for those infestors, so we can have defensive fungals available. More roaches and ravagers are on the way. Oh, and the Mivat has been spotted. Thankfully, it is confirmed here by Dark. He's aware of what's going on, but we have 3 tanks with this army. 4 tanks even. Dark is setting up a surround. We have Lings that are going to be coming in from behind, Roach Ravager from the front. ByuN is being forced back. He hasn't come across the Lings yet. And here we go. Darky's coming in, and he's going to be able to get on top of all these tanks. Ay, ay, ay. One tank goes down, a second tank gets battled down as well. Looks like there's barely enough here for ByuN to hold on. He wants the Ravagers. He's going to get 2. A decent trade for ByuN, but he did lose 3 tanks. Unfortunately, he was a bit out of position. He exposed himself, and he was not aware that Dark was hiding behind those steam vents. We have a double jump head towards the main base. We have the main army rotating towards the south. Going to be threatening the 3rd. I guess this is now the new 4th. As the army does reveal itself, we have that double drop slipping into the main base. Oh, Dark does react. He doesn't have anything in position, but the double drop shouldn't get too much damage done. Said it shouldn't get too much damage done as, oh my god, 7-10 drones do fall. The drop towards the south, focus firing so many of these drones. And the drop in the main base hasn't been dealt with. GG gets called. Dark just wasn't able to keep up with the multi-pronged aggression, and ByuN is going to be this week's ESL Open Cup Americas champion, winning 2 regions back-to-back. GG. GG, well played. Last night, he 3-0 Dark in the finals of ESL Open Cup Asia, and this morning, they wake up, they play again, and ByuN takes down Dark 3-1. Dark did fight back this series, but alas, just wasn't able to overcome the might that is ByuN, especially not with his 4-racks on Neo Humanity and with some of his other aggressive play as well. I do think that the Proxy 2-racks game was, again, a very awkward game. it was very awkward and very chaotic as a result. Here in this game, though, I do think that Dark handled the initial 3-racks very well. I do think that he was able to get out of it in a pretty good position, but after that, the Marine push follow-up did so much for ByuN. He was able to get a kill on the hatchery of all things. Again, that was almost game-ending damage when Dark lost his 3rd base. That is something that should not be happening, and it's so difficult to recover from. And from that moment, ByuN had momentum, basically. Like, from that moment, Dark lost, I think it was 8 drones and a hatchery, and that's pretty unacceptable at this level of play. And as we saw, ByuN is the kind of player that is willing to punish that and capitalize on that, and yeah, as a result, takes the series in the end. GG, well played. ByuN is on fire, and he is one to keep an eye out, especially coming into ESL Masters Summer, as DreamHack Young Shipping is in a couple of days. GG, well played. Who won the European Weekly? I'm curious. I'm usually asleep for the ESL Open Cup for the European Open Cups. So, quickly double checking. It was Clem. Wow, Clem 3-0'd Max Packs in the finals. Damn. Very good stuff there. So yeah, I think this is pretty important to get a read on the current state of play. The current form of a bunch of these players. And I do think that, I mean, for both Dark and ByuN to make it to the finals back-to-back shows that they're both amazing players. Here, ByuN is showing that he's still very in form in TvZ, especially. To be able to look this dominant against Dark is very impressive. And I would love to see ByuN versus players like Cyril, versus players like Raynor. Especially because no one else plays quite like ByuN. I'm talking about the 2-Racks opener specifically. Like, it's very unique to ByuN. I know Gumiho and Special have been trying it out a little bit. They've been kind of mixing it in. I think maybe Clem has done it like a couple of times as well. But I wonder how well versed the European Zergs are at defending against that and dealing with that and handling ByuN. Players like Rainer and Cyril specifically. I would love to see them go up against ByuN in ESL Masters Summer. As that's in a couple of days. And if you're interested in ESL Masters Summer and DreamHack Young Shipping, we're going to be casting it here on this channel, at least the group stage, on Friday. This Friday, we're going to be casting the open bracket of DreamHack Young Shipping on the CranKy Ducklings. Only the open bracket. The past couple of years, we have been the B stream for DreamHack, but this year, unfortunately, for TvZ and for DreamHack Young Shipping, we won't be the B stream. We're not going to be as involved. I mean, you know, it happens, especially with the budget cuts that have been going on. They can't afford as many streams, and other people, I mean, I think Steadfast and ByuN, I think Steadfast and ByuN are going to be the official B and C streams, I think, for DreamHack Young Shipping. I don't think it's been properly announced yet, but I do believe that they have some other people covering that. So best of luck to them. Hopefully we're able to get back on the B stream at some point this year. I know there's another DreamHack later on, and maybe we can get involved. We'll see. If not, we'll just do our best to cast as much as we can anyway on this channel. That's all we try to do. That's all we strive to do as well. So at least we're going to be a part of the open bracket, at least. And yeah. So if you're interested, that's going to be on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. 3 full days of StarCraft, of top tier premier content. And I am willing to ruin my sleep schedule to stay up for it. I'm going to watch it all. I'll try and watch what I can. No promises. Oh god, I remember back in the day, staying up and watching IEMs like IEM Toronto and IEM Sao Paulo and DreamHack Bucharest and all these major events back in Heart of the Swarm. I used to just ruin my sleep schedule, and it was not good. It's not good for the next day. But yeah, I used to stay up for these events so much more often. As you can imagine, here in Australia, it's not a good time. They're not at a good time for us. But I'm willing to maybe do it again here this year, just because there's not that many offline events anymore, right? We don't really get too many of them a year. I think we're only getting 2, right? Well, we have IEM Katowice, then we have DreamHack in EU, and then we have DreamHack in NA. You know, that's kind of all we've got. So yeah, I'll do my best to try and stay up, watch as much of it as I can. I'll be in the chat alongside everyone else. We'll be watching it together. Maybe a voice call, I don't know. Especially like that late in the night. I don't think I'll be I think I'll just be like smudging I'll be Diabloing. I don't know. I'll be trying to keep an eye on it on my second monitor. And yeah, good stuff ahead this week. Meanwhile, if you want some more CranKy Duckling action, we're going to be back tonight. We're going to be back tonight for World Team League in 9 hours. 9 hours from now, we're going to be live once again. I'm going to go get some breakfast. I'm going to get some food. I may have a small ladder stream, and then we'll get into some World Team League action. Oh boy, gonna be a long day of StarCraft today. Long day. So yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for the support. Oh, predictions! I can't forget. Do have to pay out those predictions. Go, Happy. Let's go. Flash would have won this. Yeah, I give the points, Bobby. I give the points. I want so much more Quack. True. D-Gen Light. The D-Gen Light will return this weekend. So yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for the support. Do appreciate it. Give some love to some other beautiful streamers out there and StarCraft streamers. We're going to be giving a raid to Nish. Shout out to Nish. I don't know how public this is. I was kind of mentioning it earlier, so we'll give him a raid. He actually already got a raid from Dave Testa. But we'll give him another raid. Nish was actually restreaming us on TikTok over the weekend. Yeah. I mean, look, let's plug ourselves. Why not? Fun fact, usually Nish restreams, I think, Chicken Man and Dave Testa for the KSL on TikTok. Just so you know, we've tried to make our own TikTok account, but you can only stream on TikTok if you have a certain amount of followers and viewers. So you have to like build up your TikTok account first before you can stream on it. We can't. We're not gonna. We haven't quite done that yet. But Nish, aka the StarCraft Observer. He's a TikTok man for StarCraft, and he usually restreams some of the other KSL streams. But this weekend he restreamed us on TikTok, and we hit peak viewership. Nish was messaging me. He was freaking out. He's like, "Oh my god! Like we have so many viewers this time. Why?" He was very thankful to us, and as a result, he may be restreaming us more often on TikTok as well. Just, you know, it doesn't help us grow our platform, but some people do come over from TikTok as well. I think it's probably good exposure overall. So yeah, shout out to Nish, shout out to the StarCraft Observer. A lot of love to him, and give him some love as well. You know, he's currently laddering on his own Twitch channel, and he's working his way up through Diamond, potentially one day into Masters as well. I know he can get there. So give him some love, give him some support. With that, thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will see you guys in 9 hours for some World Team League. See you then. Bye.